Hey everybody, we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna give it another 20 seconds, make sure I got everybody on. Thank you folks for being on time. I love it. Me and Joe got the blue memo today. Yeah, baby, we got blue. Kenny Rogers, the gambler's on with us again today. I love it, Ken. For those of you that don't know my reference to one of the greatest songs ever, you'll have to Google it. All right, let's get it cranking, guys. Woo! Another happy Monday morning to everybody out there. My name is Chris Cook. I live here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm direct Symmetry Financial Group. Happy to see everybody today and love starting out our week bragging on good folks. We'll get into that just a second. Let me look over some news and notes here. Miss Tina, have I got you out there? I wanted to start you off. You want to give some Tina's tips for the day. Get that cranking for you. There we are. Found you, Miss Tina. Boom. We'll start it off with a couple of Tina's tips for the day. Good morning.
I just wanted to let everyone know that Mutual of Omaha is back on track with their issue paid. So it should be a couple of days rather than a couple of weeks. So I wanted everyone to know that. And also, I just wanted to give out a little reminder for our agency owners about recruiting. I do need those recruits by Monday morning at 9. The contracts that you have received for your team in the past week on Monday morning at 9. And that just helps keep everybody's numbers accurate because I definitely want to report correctly. So, yep, if you would get those to me, that way I can do my job.
I appreciate you, Tina, and you know, give great support to you and your teams and make sure that they're getting the proper edification as well. So real clarification real quick, Tina, on the Mutual of Omaha thing. So you're saying Mutual of Omaha, what is that? That means they're getting paid quicker? What's going on there?
They're getting paid once the business is issued. They get paid, and Mutual Omaha was behind for about a month. They were running a little bit behind, but they're back up to speed now. So
awesome. That's great news. So you're saying you go write a policy today, you probably get paid by tomorrow or the next day with it. Is that what you're telling us?
That's correct.
I love it. That is great news. We love us some Mutual of Omaha here at Symmetry Financial Group. So awesome news, lady. Thank you, Miss Tina, for all you do. Hey, and big congratulations to you. It's the first time I've had you on. I bragged about you last week. $500 bonus for you worked last 2 months. Yay!
Pretty awesome.
Go, lady. Hey, awesome. Way to get it. And I think you're on pace to get you another bonus this month. So
I am.
Yeah, look at you go, girl. So anyway, proud of you, lady. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate you. All right, let's see. Love that. And Tina, we do have some people getting some raises out there. We'll get into that in a minute. I love seeing people get raises. If anybody, any of you leaders have any raises you want me to announce for any of your crew, I've got 3 that it's on the call with us today. Super proud of these 3 gentlemen. But if anybody else got any that we want us to announce, certainly let us know. And we'll do that. Reminder, the 12 o'clock sales call is coming up today with Amy Fine. That's pending to profit. She's an agency owner of Symmetry Financial Group. She's found a great way to be very profitable here at Symmetry Financial. And she's going to have one of her agency owners on there as well with her. So it's pending to profit. Put that on your agenda. That's 12 o'clock Eastern. It's in your SFG happenings email. So make sure you pay attention to that. New agent call tomorrow, hosted by Geoffrey Miller. I believe, is that right? Is that right, Geoffrey? Give me a thumbs up if that's the case. Is Joe Martinez, the man, the myth, the legend. We're going to do some bragging on you today, Joe. New agent call hosted by Joe Martinez. And if you're a new agent, you won't be listening to Joe Martinez in his first full-time year with him. Year with us, made north of $200,000 in personal production. So hailing from the great state of Arizona, Mr. Joe Martinez. PCB's coming up. We got Knoxville, Tennessee tomorrow. Betsy Barr, the Gillums, myself, Lauren Cook. Anybody else I'm missing, Tina, that's going to be there? Do you remember? It's going to be there presenting with us. I'll remember it. I'll let you know. But it's going to be awesome. Send your people to 2 or 3 hour radius around here. Mark, I know you got some new talented people in the area. Make sure you and Dustin get your new sharp people over here to it, buddy. We want to help them. Davis's, if you got anybody in the East Tennessee area, send them over here. We'd love to help your team out. And anybody within 2 or 3 hour radius, make sure you get here. We're going to teach you how to run an appointment. We're going to teach you how to make an appointment. We're going to teach you how to build an organization. And we're going to teach you important things of this business so you can go out and be profitable in this business. So it's going to be good. Anaheim, California, that's coming up August 5th. I would ask this of all the leaders. Get with your people today and give us a head count of how many people you believe in your organization. If it's a 0, send me a 0. That's okay. I just need to know, and I need reports from the leadership team today because we're wanting to see what size venue. We have another organization wanting to join with us on that right there. So if you guys would get that to me today, leaders, by 3 p.m. Eastern, reach out to you people, just see in general what type of attendance you'll have. Some of you may be at the Agency Owner Academy. That's okay. I'm talking about people in your organization. If you're not going to be there, if you guys will reach out, let us know, and that will help us create a venue size for that. It's gonna be awesome. So anyway, love it. And if you're a new agent out there, you're like, hey, I want to go to the Anaheim meeting. I'm out in Arizona, I'm out in Vegas, or I'm out in California, and I want to go to it. Make sure you reach out to your leader today and just let them know that you are highly interested in attending that event. So it'll be good stuff. All right, let's get into the leaderboards. I'm just now getting to the leaderboards. We had so much awesome stuff to already talk about. We got some great leaderboards. Love talking about the application count, giving recognition to everybody that did 5 or more applications in a week. Let's do the 5 app club here. Dominic Austin, DJ Robinson, and Jordan Gillum, all with 5 applications. We jump up next all the way to the 8 app a week club, which is a pretty prestigious club. Andy Ballantyne, way to go, buddy. That's awesome, my man. Part of the Joe Martinez organization. 8, Geoffrey Miller, always strong, part of the Neubauer group. And Carolina Morales, 8 applications again this week, part of the Joe Martinez team that is just simply killing it lately. Way to go, Carolina Morales. So 8 applications. The 9 application club, Rocco Pearson. Way to go, Rocco Pearson. Buddy, I am so proud of you. Young man, you are going to be amazing in this company, and I see you as a future leader of Symmetry Financial Group. Way to go, Rocco Pearson. At the age of 25, 9 applications in a week, buddy. Just proving it can be done, and you are a sharp person, and just love getting to know you. Oh, also another one, Tina. Jason Givargiznia, which I'm not destroying his last name anymore. Thank goodness. It took me a while. Jason Givargiznia, part of the DJ Robinson organization, part of the base shop team, 9 applications this past week. Way to go, Jason. Super proud of you, buddy. Great state of California, my friend. All right, we've got only one number 1 in this category, and this is the 13 application in a week club. Mr. Brian Howe, getting ready to join us at the Lake House this week with the founders of the company. 13 applications this past week. Just amazing, Brian Howe. Not only was the number 1 agent in all of Symmetry last month, in the month of June, he continues to lead in July. Really good stuff. And for all you new people out there, you're wondering, can you get this done quick? You can. Brian Howe started in January of this year with this company, and now he's already ascended to one of the premier producers in all of Symmetry Financial. So proud of you, Brian Howe, and that's great stuff, buddy. Good stuff. No coincidence that Rocco Pearson and Brian Howe were at the Spokane, Washington PCB. Maybe a key connection. You go to a PCB, your production just goes through the roof. Of course, they were already awesome before then. But, so anyway, awesome stuff. All right, love celebrating the APVs above 3,000 or more in a week. Jason Givargiznia, 3,292. Elijah Carujo, 3,339. Dominic Austin, 3,653. Robert Lamont, 3,671. Brian Patrick Hamby. I love saying your middle name, Hamby. Brian Patrick Hamby, 5,167. Way to go, buddy. Andy Ballantyne, 5,588. Rocco Pearson, 8,773. Getting into our top 5, Geoffrey Miller, 8,960. And just to get into the top 4, you had to write over 11,000 in the week. Just to get in the top 4. So just want you to know, pretty insane here. DJ Robinson, 11,138, the 4 spot. Jordan Gillum, she wrote all this, I think, in like a day. So this is awesome. 12,177, all while attending 2 PCBs last week. I think she's in San Antonio, Texas, and Las Vegas. Way to go, Jordan Gillum. 12,177, number 3 spot. Number 2 spot, Mr. Brian Howe, 14,811 in a week. Way to go, Brian Howe. Super proud of you, buddy. And number 1, she's been number 1 like 2 out of the 4 weeks she's been with us, I think. Joe, you can let me know here in a minute. Carolina Ramos Morales, 18,348 in premium. Proud of you, lady. Just coming out, absolutely killing it. On fire, just awesomeness. So super proud of you. Couldn't be more proud. 2 brand new riders I'm going to talk about here in a minute when I get in the recruiting stuff, but just way to go teams on that right there. I'm going to talk about this. Interviews for the week. Here's the people that reported to us, the key report, reported to us that they did 10 or more interviews this past week. Mr. Barry Davis, way to go, Barry. I think you did that all while attending San Antonio meeting. Good stuff, man. Brian Hamby, way to go, buddy. And myself, we all had 10 or more interviews last week. Contracts this past week. Mark Neubauer, Doug Kellaway, Robert Lamont, Denise Nelson, myself, all had 1 new recruit this past week. Brian Howe, Brian Hamby, part of the 2 contracts in a week club. Joe Martinez, James Martinez, I think they're related. They are. They're brothers. Both had 3 this past week. Recruiting machines. Way to go, Joe and James. That is super awesome. And I think both of them attended a couple of PCBs last week. Proven. You go to PCBs, you can still make it happen. Way to go. Way to go, Joe and James. Super awesome on that right there. So that's good stuff there, which leads us to this category, which is super important category. Brian Sokar, brand new writer, part of the Gillum Agency. I think that's 5 straight weeks that the Gillum Agency has had a brand new writer. I think that's what Jordan was texting me. Way to go, Gillums. It's awesome. And Jonathan Howe, brand new writer, part of the Brian Howe team, part of the Geoffrey Miller hierarchy, Joe Martinez group, Mark Neubauer Empire. So however you want to discuss it, that's awesome. Way to go, Jonathan Howe. Super proud of you, buddy. I was told, Jonathan and Brian, years ago, this one thing, and I say it a lot, and some of you may be annoyed at it, but if you can do it one time, you can do it 1,000 times. I promise you, you can do it. So congratulations to you new writers out there. That is awesome. Drum roll on the groups of the week. I love celebrating these the groups that are over 15,000 or more in a week. We got our top 6 groups that did that. Mr. Valzarn and his organization, 15,500 this past week. Way to go, Valzarn. Jordan Gillum Hurt and Jared Gillum's group, 16,204. Top 4, we got Geoffrey Miller, 24,123. Number 3, the Base Shop, 25,009. Number 2, we got Joe Martinez and his group, 26,911. Not too shabby at all, my friend. That is awesome. And that is really good stuff. Number 1 on that board, Mr. Mark Neubauer. We're going to hear from him in just a minute. 54,688. If you guys are paying attention to the national leaderboards, we have the number 1 overall agency owner in all of Symmetry on our team. It's Mr. Mark Neubauer. And big part of that reason too is because guess what? He's got a couple of sharp guys on his team as well, Mr. Joe Martinez and Geoffrey Miller. It helps to have good people to run with, I'm telling you folks. And here's the amazing thing for all you fine folks today is we got those people on the call with us today. So get your pen and notepads ready here in a minute. We're gonna get over to that. First, I'm gonna unmute my amigo down in Phoenix, Arizona, Mr. Geoffrey Miller.
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
So, Geoffrey, I know you and your team, I think, has Book of the Month this week. Is that right?
Yes, that is true. Mr. Troy Stevens is going to be going over that.
All right. So, any introduction you want to give about Troy? I know you've known him a long time.
I have. I've known Troy for about 20 years. We've done some other business together, and yeah, he's just been stepping it up here with Symmetry, doing some great stuff. He is a pilot, so he is a full-time pilot and doing this on the side. And it's just, making things happen. So pretty excited for Troy. He's got some good people coming on this team. So definitely putting some things together.
He's got some sharp people coming on his team. Me and my son, after we did the Spokane, Washington meeting, we got to hang out with Troy and one of his good friends, and then got to hang out with him and his wife. Me and my son did, and Troy took us out on a lake out in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, if I can say it right, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and it was beautiful. And he showed us a lot of nice homes, and couldn't be more appreciative for Troy Stevens doing that for us. So let me make sure I find him there. All right, Troy, I got you unmuted, buddy.
Oh, by the way, he just got promoted for up to 85%.
Oh, that's not too shabby at all. Promoted up to an 85% contract. Mr. Troy Stevens, buddy, you on here? I think I tried.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What a background. Are you flying through the friendly skies right now with that background?
That is a photo over Dallas, actually, one morning about 5 a.m. But
yeah, that's beautiful.
So yeah, my name's Troy Stevens. I'm reside there in Arizona, in Anthem, Arizona. I'm proud to be direct to Geoffrey Miller. And yes, Chris, we did have a great time. And, you know, it just proves the more you hang out with the leaders and the people who are making this happen, the more inspired you get. So I appreciate the time with you up there in Coeur d'Alene, and it was a pleasure to hang out with you and your boy.
Oh, well, we appreciate you, buddy. We had a blast.
So to make this short, I'm a guy that seems to always, doesn't matter if it's studying for a test or what, but I always push it to the last minute. So I did some reading again last night to make sure I had something to talk about this morning. So we're talking about Who Moved My Cheese? Spencer Johnson was the author on that. And what a great book. My favorites are always the short ones that have the biggest message. And this came out with about 7 different little highlights that I found out of it. Amazing how much you can get out of a short read. First one is, you know, change is an inevitable part of life. Number 2 would be anticipating change can help you when you move through your different parts of life and things that occur. And letting go of old ways and habits can help you change and adapt to new habits. Visualization on and the visualization of success and happiness to help you focus on and help you with the new parts of your change in life. Fear is an immobilizing and can help you. Fear is immobilizing and can help you from embracing on change, and can be externally to break out of old ways and gain of new things. And it's important to stay in touch with things that are out of your consistent search of the zone. What basically I've got out of this was, you know, you've got 2 mice, Sniff and Curry, and you got 2 little people there, him and Haw, and they're in this maze of life. And as we know, their maze is to get comfortable with having something that you have every day. And they have a consistent flow of cheese, their source of life. And then you find them realizing that maybe it's time to go out and look for more cheese. I think most of us will find this to be true in our own life, where you get comfortable doing the same thing time and time again, and you just get to the point where you're complacent, you're not looking for anything more and greater. I know I find this in my life. As for reading this book, this is kind of where I found the last few years of my life, and that is, you reach some goals, you set a bunch of goals, you reach your goals, and then you just get comfortable with what you've reached, and you're worried about losing what you've obtained, so you don't reach out, go out and get inspired by maybe new goals. So in my life, I think that my biggest concern is my goals bigger than the comfort level of being, you know, where you're at and what's, you know, you're not going to lose. So with this Who Moved My Cheese, it was a big deal for me just to realize that I need to broaden my goals and make them more powerful than the comfort level that I've been in. So Symmetry came along at a great time. So that's my take on Who Moved the Cheese.
I love it, buddy. I love it. No, it's I'm telling you, it's a powerful book for new agents to go out there and read. It's a book I've read, had the privilege of reading a couple of times, but it really teaches you some essence of things that you can do in your business and apply it to your business thought processes to really take it to another level. And I know you're getting ready to transition out of the airline industry and maybe being this full time pretty soon, right?
Yeah, it's funny, part-time's a great way to start out, but once you realize the opportunity, it starts to make you realize the sooner you get out of part-time and go full-time, those goals and those financial inspirations you have will be achieved. Because for me, it's holding me back now, I feel like. So yes, that's the next step.
I love it, buddy. Hey, congratulations, 85% contract. That's no joke. That's a big deal. You've already gotten just part-time here. That's over 15% raises, right? If you're a starting agent here, is what you look at. It's what I love about this possibility is even part-time, you can go out and get those raises. Proud of you, Troy. That's awesome stuff, buddy. Awesome. Can't wait to visit you again in Idaho, my friend, because that was super awesome. So
we're going to have you back, but we're going to have more people in that room, I think is what's going to happen.
I love it. Hey, you just let us know, man. We're ready to come back, man. I'm ready to go back out on the lake. So it's awesome. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, great job, Troy.
All right, let's see if I got my man Joe Martinez out there.
You hear me?
Got you loud and clear, buddy.
What's going on?
I gotta get you lined up with those horns behind you, because if we could do it just right, like we did it the other day, yeah. If you were just a hair taller,
move
man.
my camera up.
I was about to say, you move your camera up, it'd be great.
Bow.
You'd have horns there and everything. You'd be perfect, man. Well, Joe Martinez, man, how long you been here with Symmetry, buddy?
Just a little over 3 years.
Little over 3 years. Any previous experience in the insurance industry?
I used to buy car insurance because I had
Yeah. What was your background, buddy?
restaurants. I was a restaurant manager.
Restaurant manager. That's what I was thinking. Mark found you as a restaurant manager. So what have you seen since you've been here, buddy?
Oh, what have I seen? Seen a lot of things. Just really more than anything, being able to run my own business on my schedule and creating the income that I wanted to make. Very simple.
I love that. Yeah, I love that, man.
And
you've met a lot of cool friends here too, I think, right?
a lot of good friends. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so you can't meet Joe Martinez and not be his friend. It's pretty much, it's an automatic. Sure. All right, buddy. So I know I'd written down some stuff here that I want to go over with you. I'm gonna make sure I pull it up here on my thing. So I wanted you to talk about, because your first year here, what'd you make financially your first full-time year here at Symmetry?
Me personally, I wrote 387 and I made about 240,000 my first full year.
First full year in this insurance industry. That's what I love about it, buddy. So I think no better person than to talk to our team about today, Joe, than you, buddy, is keys for a new agent getting started fast. So I'm gonna let you roll with it, man. I'm gonna take notes. So
I love it. First I would start with, when you come into Symmetry, what I first saw as a new agent, and what I realized was here, I was going to be able to work as hard as I wanted to and make the income, right? Because as soon as I wrote my first policy, I understood it was real, right? It deposited, this is a real thing, but I really understood that it's that simple, right? Wasn't easy. I had to get licensed, had to make a lot of dials, book my first appointment, but there was already a system in place, right? I can't emphasize that enough. As a new agent, just follow the system. And I know we come in different industries and we're looking at, well, I like to be prepared, so I want to know all these policies and what they are, or I want to know everything there is so I don't look silly in front of a client, right? But I had blind faith with Mark, and I said, hey, you tell me what I have to do to generate the income I need to make, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And if you come into Symmetry and do that, it is so It's that easy, right? Or that simple, should I say. It's that simple. It ain't easy, but it's that simple, right? Our job is to show a client what they qualify for, the protection that they want, and go over it with them. If you can do that in a home, you're going to write a policy, right? Make an income. What does it take to do that, right? I'm a numbers guy. And when I say I'm a numbers guy and I track, that's exactly what I do, guys. So when I came in, it was very simple for me. Write these things down. This should be in front of you as a new agent the entire time, guys. First of all, what kind of income do you need to make? So important, right? When I came in here, I already came from a six-figure income, so I knew that's what I had to generate. And it can be whatever you need to make, right? If it's 50,000, it's 50,000. If it's 200,000, you can make 200,000. But write down the income you need to make, right? Don't write down an income you want to make, or you say, right? It's not a figure of speech of, oh, I want to make 200 or 300. Whatever you need to make, write that number down. You're able to reverse engineer it by application count, right? So do that with your upline. When you know that number, then you need to know the APV that you need to write for the month, right? APV for a new agent, right? That's the annual premium volume, right? That we generate in a month. So those are the two numbers that you need to start with that are so important, because that's our income, guys, right? If you don't make your income here, you're going to quit. Everybody knows that, right? So those are your two main numbers. The next one is, are you full-time or part-time? So what does your schedule look like? And you need to draw out your schedule. So when I have a new agent, just like when I did it at first, it was, hey, I was full-time, so I have 7 days a week to work. Tell me what I need to figure out, because my kids are hungry and they need to eat, right? So if you're part-time, that's perfectly fine too. Write down your schedule. Hey, I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We got so many people on our team doing that right now. And it's like, okay, well, if you're off from 9 to 5, what days are you willing to work for your part-time schedule? And I ask them, lay it down for me, right? Well, I want to work, Joe, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't Thursday or Friday, and Saturday. So when you write down your schedule, you now know what you can work to get to your APV and your app count, right? Next one is your budget. This is so important, guys. This is a business, right? I hope y'all really understand that this is a business you can operate and you own, and you're able to generate the income you want based on this budget. Okay, it is so important. Here's a number to remember. Every $250 you invest in leads, you're going to generate $1,000 to $1,500 in net income, right? If you know those two numbers, you can scale that to the income you need to make, right? Based on your schedule, you need to squeeze that in there based on your schedule, okay? That right there at the beginning is the very skeleton of how you come in here and you generate the income you want to make, right? Right now, it's so nice as a new agent. I wish I would have had this, because now, Chris, we get to put these in front of everybody, right? If you don't know what this is, guys, this is the bonus tracker, okay? Put this in front of every single new person who has not written an app yet or has written an app within the past 90 days, okay? If this was around when I started, I would have hit every single one of these. That would have been it's almost $16,000 extra in my pocket and a trip to Costa Rica. Please put this in front of every single one of y'all. It is not, it's not fake. Okay, this is extra. Do you want to make an extra $1,000, an extra $2,000 your very first month? I do. So I'm assuming everyone else does. You have to know what your bonus tracker is. That means what gets you your first $1,000, what gets you your next $4,000, because it really is simple to hit those, at least your first $5,000 in bonus. And you can absolutely do it your very first month, okay? Because none of those bonuses ask you to do more than what less than a full-time agent is asked to do. The next one is going to be communication with your upline, right? I just keep it super simple. I realized what it took me to do and get to the income I needed to make. So you'll always hear me talk about 1,000 dials, because that's what it took me my very first couple of weeks to find success really fast. And Chris, it's funny, right? Every agent I talk to at the beginning, when we're hiring them, I'm like, do you want to make an income really fast? They all answered, yes, I want to make an income really fast. Not a single one says, no, you know, I'm okay starting slow and let me make some income in about 3 or 4 months. Not a single one says that. Everyone says, I want to get started fast and I need to make an income. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to give you what I did because it worked, right? It's 1,000 dials, your very first easy 6 weeks, okay? Because this is what I realized is 1,000 dials, write this number down, is 28.5 hours of work. 1,000 dials is 28.5 hours of work. So if you're part-time or full-time, are you willing to work 28.5 hours your first 6 weeks in dialing to make a really good income? Because if you are, then you should be going out there hitting the road and creating an income your first 6 weeks with a 28.5 hour a week schedule, right? And Chris, I started laying this down for all our new agents. Boom, SNAs, new writers. I mean, it works, guys. It's that simple, 28.5 hours, okay? What does that look like in a week? What I write down for them and what I did personally, again, right? It works. It's 200 dials a day, minimum. And that's a minimum because 200 dials a day divided by 35 dials is only 5 hours. So I don't know no full-time job, Chris, where I can go work 5 hours, because every full-time job I know it's 8 hours plus.
Right.
So if you're a new agent and you're not dialing 5 hours plus, I know you ain't dialing 200 dials, right? I love to be honest with all my agents because I want them to find the success that I did, right? And I don't want to sugarcoat anything and say, hey, this is what you can do and this is what you can generate. We can't be upset of the results we didn't work for, right? So the next big one is going to be daily tracking and reporting to your upline, right? I did it and I found success, guys. I was writing applications in my very first home. I was not writing applications, I think my next 7 homes, right, Mark? It wasn't easy, but I was communicating with my upline. I have an appointment. This is where I'm at. Today I've dialed X amount of dials. I've contacted so many people and I've booked so many appointments. And it looks like I suck. What can I do to get better? Right? We're all starting. What can I do to get better? It's that daily communication, right? Andy Ballantyne on our team. Check this stat out, Chris. Started May 20th, has already wrote 22,000 in production, right? Became an SNA on our group. Every day, this man's calling me. Every single day. Every appointment, like, hey, this is what I have for them, right? And the conversation changes as you get better, guys, right? So at first he was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I got an appointment. We prep him, right? The next one, he starts prepping and it's like, this is what I have for an appointment. How does it look? That's now our conversation. It's amazing to see people grow in our team, right? And it's like, hey, this is what I'm going to present. Does it look good? Looks great. Rock and roll, right? Next thing I know, hey, I'm writing 4X, right? Just realize that it's that simple, guys. Those little keys right there, if you can practice it in your first 6 weeks without a fault, because you have to do these things for 6 weeks so that we can help adjust anything that you're doing. But without those numbers, guys, and without those results, I'm telling you, it's a lot slower and you're doing what you can do in a week or in 6 weeks in about 3 or 4 months. I can't help anyone like that. None of us as your upline can help you if we don't have the numbers in front of us. And if you're willing to put in the work, massive action, constant correction, and adjust to whatever can find you success really fast. Right? That's what I got, Chris.
I love it, man. I love it. I was taking notes on all that. It's all of that is the keys, folks. And you just take notes on what he just covered. And, my challenge is actually do what he just challenged you to do and is best for you, and see if you don't get results here. Like, I've never seen anybody actually do the work here, Joe, and ever fail. It's something me and Brian Howe was talking about up in Spokane. It's like, if you ever get the question, well, we all inevitably get this question when we're doing interviews. Well, what percentage of the people make it with you guys? Well, it's a pretty easy answer. It's 100% of the people that do what we teach them to do make it. Most of them fall in love with it, and it's their career, and they retire from it, and this is what they're going to do for the rest of their life. And then the percentage of the people that don't do that, also 100% of them don't make it. It's pretty simple, right? It's just that equation. So I love that you laid it out for the people today, Joe. And super congratulations to you, buddy. I just want to give you some super good edification. Congratulations, man. It's no short big deal right here. You now have achieved 25% raise since you've been here with Symmetry Financial, and you are now, buddy, at a 95% contract level. So super congratulations to you. I know Mark had sent that off last week when we got those official numbers. Awesome job, buddy. Hey, on the way to 120, my friend. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right. Appreciate you, man. All right. We got up on my next board here because I want to do them in order. Yeah, we got man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mark Neubauer. Buddy.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, sir. And big congratulations to you. I'll get this out of the way at the start of yours because it's super awesome. 100% contract. That's not too shabby in this industry, buddy.
That was super exciting. That was a nail biter for sure.
Yeah. Hey, well, nail biter that you won, buddy. Super proud of you and super excited for you, man. Excited to spend some time with you and your wife this week at the lake house. You guys certainly have earned that. So I wanted you to just take some time, and I want you new people to understand who you're talking to is a guy that's done this part-time. He has other businesses, $225,000 in his organization in the month of June in production. And Mark, the question that I posed out to you over the weekend, what does it take to win here, buddy? And I just want you to share it with them and share with us all what it takes to win here.
Well, I think Joe Martinez covered quite a bit of it. I could listen to him all day.
He stole everybody's notes probably. Yeah.
I think he was hacking my computer.
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing, Joe. Seriously, guys, it all has to do with metrics. Chris, as you always taught us from day one, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business, and even more so, you don't have a business, right? So, and that's a lesson that took me quite a while to learn because I've always just kind of that stuff's been a little more ethereal for me. I'm a pretty creative person, but when it comes to math and numbers, that was a big challenge and continues to be. So I love learning and growing. And really, there's just a couple points I want to make. There's so many great points that we could make when it comes down to it. But ultimately, I do say this: if you're new, and if you're not, have the 4 cornerstones on your desk. Hopefully that's within your reach already. If you're brand new and don't have those, please ask your upline immediately after the call, because truly Symmetry's done a great job. I mean, it's, I grew up Catholic, so there's the 10 commandments, right? These are the 4 commandments. I mean, this is everything right here that you really need to know if you break it down. But for me, intentionality is one of the most important things. Let's just write off of what Joe said, because those numbers are so important. And the work is something that you've got to be intentional with. So you got to know your numbers and you got to monitor your activity so that you know what's going on. As they say, where focus goes, energy grows, right? So there's been, I'm thankful to have reached the 100, but I'll admit there were a couple raises there that, had I been paying attention to my numbers, had I been intentional about, hey, I'm going to go for my 75 this month, I'm going to go for my 80, instead of just writing what I can, where I can, right? Big difference. Months can go by before your next raise. And the minute you look at that, that sheet of paper right here and say, oh, I've just got to do, $2,500. I've got to do 5,000 in APV this next 2 months. I'm gonna book my schedule accordingly. Watch how those raises just fly through. And guys, I'm mentioning raises because we're all, you know, Joe, Jeff, Troy, Dustin, myself, we're all, Brian, Howe, we're all pretty excited about the recent, you know, step ups and raises, and we realize it's a result of our being intentional with our businesses and saying we're going to go for this next thing. And so please use those raises, if nothing else, as a guideline to show yourself where you need to be. And thank goodness Symmetry is not only, you know, for builders anymore. Those of us that want to build a legacy, want to build an empire, want to have something to leave for our kids, that's great. It's super exciting, but they've got a producer's track as well. And you can work your way right up to a piece of a bonus in a percentage of company equity. Chris blew me away. I'll never forget you at that whiteboard with 12 other people in that room, right? You guys had what, a couple hundred in Vegas or whatever? We had 12 people in that room, and Chris Cook's up there with the whiteboard saying, if you get to this level, you're going to make 1/100% of company revenues. And that was 5 years ago. They're still doing it. We did 160 million last year. Guys, at that top contract level, you're getting a bonus of $160,000, let alone anything else you're doing in your business. So that's financially, that's my goal, is to get there and get as much of this incredible company as I can in terms of ownership and equity. And you should too, because the opportunity is there. And guys, the way to do that is go attend events, attend the calls, plug in. Sometimes it's hard to say that on these calls and Zooms because you're kind of preaching to the choir for the most part. You guys are showing up, so congratulate yourself for showing up. But take that one step further. Zoom is really easy to tune into, even easier if you're tuning into it and doing something else in the background, right? I see a lot of cameras off. I don't know, you know, if you're driving, keep driving and be safe. If you're not, let's double think that, right? Get those cameras on. We're in a new age now. The advent of COVID had a lot of bad things, but we also have some silver linings. And one of that is everyone's associating more and more and in person. That goes for my other industry too, guys. Opportunities everywhere. Agents and stuff are now taking auditions from people in Asia. You had to live in Hollywood to get a part, you know, last year. Not the case anymore. Same thing with this, guys. Zoom, tune in, associate, plug in. But again, get to these events. Realize that although we can tune in on Zoom, many of us can go outside again. Many of us can connect again. And, you know, whatever you believe, it doesn't matter. At a cellular level, we are all connected. And the more that you get around the energy that you wish to give off, the more you're going to give off that energy and the more you're going to become what you want to become. So don't take that for granted. It seems ethereal. It is invisible, but it happens and it's cellular. And you got to get around those people that you emulate. And events are the best way to do that. Joe and Jordan and Jeff and Brian and Val and everyone else got to go hang out with Edward Pritchett this weekend, or this week in Vegas. What day is it, right? It was a weekend.
Yeah, Saturday.
What a celebration that appeared to be. And I know that you guys got something out of that. Here's a guy, and again, I'm not talking about money for money's sake. I'm talking about money for mindset's sake, because money is really, in this business, a result of where your mind's at and where your intentions are at. And I believe Brian Delaney outed Edward Pritchett 2 years ago as making approximately $35,000 to $40,000 a day in passive income. Who knows where he's at now, but that's a fact, and that's who these guys got to hang out with. And Jordan and Jared and so many others. Sorry, guys, I was a little closed-minded there with my own team. But I know you guys had a blast, and I had some FOMO going on there, but I had to recruit all weekend. So speaking of which, FOMO means fear of missing out. Gila taught me that. MACC, guys, massive action, constant correction. I'm going to be quick with these last 2 points, but that says it all. Massive action, constant correction. So as long as you're being intentional and honoring those metrics that Joe shared with us, wow, amazing. I hope you guys wrote that down. If not, listen to this later and write it down. But use those metrics and apply massive action and constant correction. Massive action is amazing, but and as Miranda Martin has taught me early on at a national conference, make your first 10,000 mistakes as fast as you can, right? Just get them out there and embrace the hot mess that this is, all this learning and everything else. But don't sit there and just be a a student forever. Get out there, be willing to fail forward, and lean on your upline. That's what we get paid for, is to help you and guide you through this and be the torch that lights you through the forest. You got to walk the path, but we can light the way, okay? We can point you down the right direction, but then you got to look out for the bears and everything else yourself. Or get past them, those demons. So when I say massive action, constant correction, please be mindful of the fact that your upline is there. And another great thing Brian Delaney said at National Conference, what he tells his new agents, and I use it all the time: if you don't feel like you're bugging me, you're probably not calling me enough. You gotta bug that upline. Not with every little micro detail that they've already told you about 3 times, but with the new mistakes, right? Only make those mistakes once if you're counseling up. And then last but not least, I love what Tom Ziegler taught us in Choose to Win a couple weeks ago. Once again, thanks to Joe Martinez for that book. Persistent consistency is the name of the game. We got a lot of great people here that suffer from, lack of consistency. And I just say that with love, guys. It's going to set you back. It really is 1 step forward, 2 or 3 steps back every time you take that break. Chris Cook taught me the first time I wrote, back then 9,000 in a week was pretty big. Now I don't know. Yeah. But when I did my first big week, which is about 9,000 in APV, pretty close to 10, Chris said, now you know what you got to do, right? And no, what do I do, Chris? He says, you got to pedal harder. You know how you ride a bike and you got some hills in your neighborhood? It feels really good when you get to the top of that hill and you just coast down, you want to put your arms up, but there will always be another hill coming in this business. And when you're going down that hill, pedal harder. And I see so many agents have a great week here and they coast, and it's not time to coast yet. You got to build that momentum, until you get to the Tour de France, lock in your first couple raises here, and apply persistent consistency. I say it all the time because it's the number one thing that I notice, just observing what I notice that people are doing to themselves in terms of an injustice, is just not being consistent with that work, because it is hard. It's emotional labor, and it takes that intentionality that we mentioned early on and honoring those metrics that Joe laid out for us in order to apply that consistency week after week after week. Just keep your eye on that prize and realize that it's going to take a while. All right, but you're going to make some good money along the way. You're going to make some great friends along the way, and you're going to see a bright future unfold before your very eyes, as long as you just delay that gratification, put off that game, put off that movie, put off whatever it is that you need to put off, and resist that resistance and go for it, guys, because you have everything it takes to make it here. You just have to do more of it. And I promise you'll get to a point where you can put your arms up. You can celebrate those victories, right? Celebrate them every time, but with moderation, particularly in the beginning, because you got to get back to work as fast as you can.
I love it, buddy. Hey, killed it, man. I already took a half page of notes there, and that, sir, was excellent. So I hope you guys were out there taking notes, because that was excellent work. Appreciate you, buddy. And congratulations again. 100% contract.
What an amazing team.
Hey, we're gonna celebrate this week, buddy. Hey, we got some time to celebrate. Yeah. All right. Appreciate you, man. Geoffrey Miller, you out there, buddy?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Man, appreciate you, buddy. When did you start, Geoffrey, with Symmetry Financial Group? Officially, not the date me and you first talked, buddy. When did you actually get started?
Well, the day I sold my agency it closed June 30th of last year.
Yeah, June 30th. Listen to this, folks. June 30th of last year. Okay, listen to this. That's when you started. So, and big congratulations to you, because you just earned your 95% contract. So in a calendar year, buddy, 25% raise. You ever worked anywhere where you got a 25% raise in your first year, buddy? I never have.
No, I haven't.
Awesome. You know what I mean? It's awesome. Your group, man, over 100,000 last month, and looks like you guys are on the way to smashing that this month. Just super proud of you, buddy. And can't wait to spend time with you this week at the lake house, and just, man, wanted to spend a little time with you. So how did you go from a 70% contract when you started to a 95% in 12 months? Just give these new agents and vets some tips right here, buddy.
Yeah, you bet. Well, I think Joe really laid it all out as far as what I did. But here's the thing: is I actually did it, right? And I think that's the difference between me maybe and somebody that's not getting those promotions. I mean, I knew what I needed to make because I sold an agency that I had a 6-figure income. So it wasn't that I wanted to make a 6-figure income. I had bills, I had a house payment, I had things that I needed to do. So I wrote down, like Joe said, what I needed to make. So that was a big thing for me. I didn't have any options. I've always, I guess I've been in several businesses in my life and done different things. And a lot of times I put myself in a situation where I need to do that. But for me, that works, right? Because if I just want to make some extra money, it's a little bit different than when I've got to feed my family. So for me, needing to do that, and following the system. I mean, I didn't do anything special. I just followed the system. And I talked to you quite a bit, Chris, in the beginning, and Joe, we talk on a daily basis, talking to my upline, because I sucked in the beginning too. I mean, I remember when the first week of July when I started, okay, I'm full-time, I'm doing this thing. And about 3 weeks in, I'm like, oh crap, this is hard.
It's like, can you make any money at this place, right?
I'm like, man, I'm not as good as I thought I was. I came from the insurance business thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to work hard, but I was not very good. I was like, okay, what do I need to do? And so I just needed to, keep consistently making those dials. Like Joe said, I was dialing, $700-800 a week, and I had experience in the insurance industry. So, I was dialing, but I think a couple of the things that really stood out to me, because Joe laid out a lot of this stuff, is I had intentionality. I wrote down what I needed to make, and I was intentionally doing what it takes to get there, right? Because if you're just showing up each week, whether it's a job or your own business, showing up doesn't do anything. You really need to be intentional about your goals and getting those increases. And I remember, Chris, you told me in the beginning that every 5% is $50 more on average per application. And so I wrote those numbers. Okay, a full-time agent's doing 20 plus apps a month, right? So I'm like, okay, for every 5% I get, that's an extra $1,000 a month in my pocket. So for me, every 5%, I wasn't thinking the $50. I'm thinking every 5% I get is an extra $1,000 a month for my family. And then when I got that 5%, then I started to realize, and I got the second one, I'm like, I'm doing the same thing that I was doing the month before, yet my deposits were more every month. So that to me was a big deal when I realized that. And you need to treat this like a business. If you're part-time, you're part-time. But if this is full-time, you need to treat this like a business. And that means writing production, but also recruiting, right? Because I wouldn't have made this last commission increase without my team, right? This is about building a business. If you want to produce, that's great, be a producer, but you need to treat this as a business. And you're producing, you're building, it all kind of goes together. And you need to be consistent. Joe and Mark kind of both talked about that. You can't ride that roller coaster. You have a week, you do $8 grand, and you can't take the next week off, right? Because if you do, it's going to take 3 weeks to recoup from that, right? Because you got to start back all over again.
Yep.
So just being consistent, treat it like a business, follow the system. In the beginning, you're going to be uncomfortable doing this business, but the longer you're uncomfortable at doing this, the longer you're going to be comfortable at it, right? Because you're going to get good at it. Finally, you're going to get to the point where you book an appointment and they actually show up, right? Or you meet with those customers, right? And you actually write that policy form. You just have to be intentional. You have to treat it like a business. You definitely have to be coachable, and you definitely have to be talking to your upline, on a daily basis. The people that I'm talking to the most in this business and my team are the people that are the most successful, right? It's not the ones that aren't doing anything because they're not calling. The ones that are doing the ones that are doing stuff, I mean, Troy and Ryan and other people on my team that I'm talking to on a daily basis, they're the ones doing things. They're the ones saying, hey, why is this happening? How do I do better at this? How do I do better at that? So, you know, just, you know, follow the system, be consistent. And if you're not good, like I was not good, and Joe says he wasn't good in the beginning, you'll get good, right? Just do it long enough to get good. And you know, don't confuse activity with results. That's what I would probably end with, because you can have massive action without constant correction. And guess what? You may not get those results. So make sure you're doing that constant correction as you're doing the massive action. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's exciting to hit this 95%. And make sure you guys are tracking your numbers too. It's really important. I missed one of my promotions, not by a couple $1,000, not by $1,000. Mark's smiling because he knows I missed it by $124. I missed a promotion. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh my gosh.
Right. I love it, buddy. I love it, man. And you know what I love about all three of you, that was such a great, consistent message throughout. And here's something too that, and you guys will remember this. A lot of people have gotten frustrated with me in their career here, and they say, "Well, you just keep saying the same things over and over and over." And I'm like, "Yeah, because the principles of success have never changed." And what these guys did, they just laid out the principles of success here. You're either going to choose to do them and choose to win, or you're going to choose not to do them and choose to lose. The great part is it is your choice. And team, I hope all of you make the right choice this week. Proud of you three for making the right choice and doing a consistent effort. And that was an awesome stuff. I've got it recorded, so I'll put it out on the thing today. Definitely have all your new agents watch this. This is a keeper. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you, buddy. Great example.